Hi, I'm Joseph Barreto from Goa, India. This video will explain why I am inviting people having interest, knowledge and experience in permaculture to help me holistically develop my property, namely the Green Village in Goa. Well, if you look at, I'm coming from the second access, that is from the Sanjeevani sugar factory. You head down to the multi-faculty school on my right over here. The one over here, that's a multi-faculty school. And behind is the Sanjeevani sugar factory. This is an access, especially when you're coming into the property from Ponda. This is the place you have to come in. And it's not mapped, it's not on GPS. Come in, please, to my green village. My house. If you'll have to know a little bit about me, I am from Panjim city. Panjim is in Goa, India, and I did not like the city life because my love for nature drifted into me getting involved with eco, adventure, culture and agro-tourism. In initial stages, I didn't have money, so I rented out and developed 3 plantations in Goa. I had a property in Thamdi Sulla and was on rent for 20 years, and I made money and I bought a property in Kollam, namely the Jungle Book that is on the way to Dudhsagar waterfall. And there I got this property, which was 2,15,200 square meters. It's huge, about 55 acres of land. And I thought of developing this property as a integrated farming ecosystem, because that is what I would like to do, and retire over here in this property. Now, if you look, this is the river which is from Dudhsagar waterfall. Now, this in Goa, the topography is hilly and it's a lot of laterite soil. And if you look at the Google location of this place, around me, it's all mining activities, all mining. And now that mining is completely screwed up, I strongly suggest to all the miners that they can have a source of income by getting back into agriculture and developing the abandoned mines the way I have done over here. Although a lot of miners have actually asked me for a piece of land to pay me royalty for mining, I refused because I did not want to destroy Mother Nature. And I've developed this property and I'm developing it as an integrated farming ecosystem, or what you could call it, permaculture. Now, what is permaculture? Permaculture is nothing but a glorified word where a lot of people are trying to take advantage of the word, saying that we have started permaculture. It's not true. The fact is that permaculture was always existing right from ancient times. You know, every village was a best example of permaculture. Okay, and that has been created in Jungle Book in Kollam, next to Dudhsagar waterfall. But it was a lot of very tiny, and this is a huge property. So I thought I'll set it up over here. But to do permaculture on yourself, you cannot. And hence, I think I should invite people, if at all anyone wants to join hands with me in developing the permaculture in this property, you are free to join me in all activities or every individual activity. Let me explain what I have done, like over here. For example, if you look at this one, there's another one, and another, and another. This is densely cultivated, and this is betel nut. Now, once betel nut is grown and it grows a little bit tall after about 2-3 years, what I could do is I could use pepper on it. Right now, I've not cut the trees. I've left the vegetation as it is because I did not want to destroy the canopy, because the canopy of the trees extract carbon and transmit it directly from the tree into the soil, which is also very good. So it's arresting carbon. This is fantastic for the soil and for the climate as well. Now, on these trees, some trees which are very huge, I have just pruned them. And on those trees, I have grown pepper. Like, for example, over here, you see this one? This is pimpri, or the long pepper, which is there. Over there, down there's another pepper plant. So I've grown pepper, so that pepper will grow on these trees, and I'll get the yield of it. And on the sides over here, you see there's pineapple grown there. This is turmeric. So you have the rhizomes which are grown under the soil. Thereafter, you get the turmeric, the pineapple, which goes over. And on this area, you can do multi-cropping as well as multi-layered forest, fruit forest. So this will help everyone to obtain the maximum benefit of sunlight and the soil. So there is a way in it, but it has just started. So it's almost about a year now that I've taken irrigation to every corner of the property and every square inch. If you see, these are the sprinklers, these are the micro sprinklers, which irrigate every square inch of the property. So now, water is the most important thing. And now, fertilizer is another thing. In this property, I don't want to put chemical fertilizers. This is a virgin land. And since I don't want to use chemical fertilizers, the best mode is organic. Now, organic is very expensive. And because of that, I'm going to take this water from here right up to the topmost level. I'll show you the level. That is about 70 meters. And there I will set up a tank. In that tank, I'll put fish. Above the tank, I'll put ducks. So the ducks will feed on their grains. Some of it will spill out and will fall in the tank. The fish will eat it. The ducks will poo. The fish will eat it. The fish in turn will poo. Now, when there's so much of poo in a tank, what will happen? The ammonia content will go up, and that is bad for the fish, so the fish could die. Now, this ammonia thereafter breaks into nitrate, nitrites, and then it filters. I will filter it out to give it to the other plants. But before doing that, there is a hydroponics unit also being set up. So in this hydroponics unit, what I will do is, whenever I require to filter the water out, I will turn the water diverted to the hydroponics, which automatically will become aquaponics. Now, aquaponics and hydroponics is almost one and the same. Only thing, the food which is given to the plants, which would be in hydroponics to nutrients, here the fish waste and ammonia becomes nutrients to the plants. So that thereafter, instead of recycling it back into the tank, I will filter it out and it will go to the remaining plants. Likewise, there would be also dairy, where I will collect the cow dung and the urine. Goatry, piggery, poultry, different types of poultry, 3 types. One is broilers, layers, and LIT, what do you call it? Low input technology. This is what some people call it, the local chickens, you know, the hybrid chickens. And there are various other animal husbandry activities. Now, when you do animal husbandry activity, please note that any animal, when you have it in your possession, you are totally responsible for that animal the way you are responsible for your baby. Consider this animal to be your baby. Would you like your baby to die? No. So this little animal, whichever is your moral duty and obligation to look after it, and hence it is impossible on a commercial basis for one person to look after it, and that's the reason why I think we could join hands with a lot of people to undertake this activity, either individually, like for example, somebody is interested in the dairy, okay, fine, you do it. There are 2-3 people interested, come, let's do a community, set up a dairy. So this is how I intend to set up this entire property. Right now, about 1 lakh square meters, every square inch is being utilized. Okay, irrigation from here, top, and right to the other end, the main line is already taken. The sub-mains and the micro sprinklers or sprinklers has not been done over and above 1 lakh square meters. But 1 lakh square meters is also quite sizable for doing things. Now, as we go around, as I drive around and as I go around, because it's very big, it's better to drive around, I will explain to you the various other aspects of agriculture which will be happening in this property. Now, this plot, as you see, behind it's a small area which I have managed to shift some mud from this area and extend, and about 40 by 40 meters I got. And I intend to set up a poly house basically for vegetable cultivation in this plot. So on the back you can see there are some vegetables grown, but on the sides there's turmeric as of now. Eventually I'll change it according to that. Okay, so this is one plot for vegetable. There's another plot on top which I'll show you. There are a couple of plots meant for vegetables, but other things will be intercropped on the existing trees which I prune, and I've grown pepper and other fruit forest will be grown on it. Now this is another small plot about 20 by 20 meters. If you look, there's also vegetables growing over here. A polyhouse is required to control the pests and wild animals also. Over there, you see over there, there's another small little tank which will be also a fish over here. And this fish, water will go into that plot down there where I just showed you previously. This is another plot which is quite a huge one. It's about 40,000 square meters where I've grown in vegetable. This was also a new plot. It's a virgin plot. So I use like mushrooms, basically mushroom waste which I brought. I put it over here to increase the fertility of the soil, and I put some annapurna, some little bit of cow dung, and increase the fertility. So this was the first crop basically I got from him, and it has grown right up. I got about a truckload of different types of vegetables which I've grown here. I've sold it directly to the market because it gives you a better price, and compared that to the Goa Horticultural Board. So I did that. Well, I've decided to build a small house of me. Basically, it's a cob house or a house made of mud, which we used to have in the olden days. But the frame structure I have kept with pillars so that white ants do not actually attack the roof. So you can see that's the frame structure which is there. A little house for myself, which I'm building, and the road takes me there. The vehicle also takes me there. I've got a little disability. So it's good for me to go right to my house. And to monitor the plantation, it's always better to be here. Now that point over there, right on top, there's a little log of wood which has fallen down. The vehicle won't go up. So I stopped here. On top over there are absolutely no trees. And that's the point I'm putting up the tank where I'll be putting up fish in it. And the ducks will be above that. Now the water from that tank, whatever, will go to the entire plot. Now if you look at the plot, if you look all around, you see this entire plot is a little slope gradient. So automatically with gravity, the water will go down all this entire property, because this is the topmost point of the property. It's about 60 meters in height, and that tank will be about at 70 meters. Now with gravity also in this point over here, I want to set up a biofloc unit. Now biofloc will be completely individual, which will not connected with the tank. Now what is biofloc? Biofloc is another way of cultivation of fish where you put in some flock. It's a different subject. You can Google out and find out more on that. But over here will be the hydroponics unit on this section, which automatically, if the water from the fish tank is discharged into the hydroponics, it turns into aquaponics. Now if you see, look around over here, the vegetation, there is, if you look minutely, I've just recently grown, that's why it's not become big. There's turmeric over there, there is nutmeg over here, and there is banana, which grows also under partial sun. Okay, now you look at the trees on top. Just take a look at the trees on top. There are some branches which have been pruned. I've not cut the trees. Okay, just a few branches for a little bit more sunlight. Okay. This is what I suggest that everyone should do. Well, this unit over here, you see there's no trees. So here I plan to put up cows, a dairy, and over there in that thick vegetation across the electric fence, that is going to be the goat unit. Now this electric fence is put in so that the goats from that side do not cross onto this side. They are restricted in an area which would be about 20,000-30,000 square meters approximately, and that would be the area. This area now, as I told you before, that goat unit, this is the goat shed over here, it's ready. All I need is to get the goats, but I'm waiting for the rain to get over. And once the rains are over, there are these 3 sheds, 1, 2 and 3. These 3 sheds will be for the goats. Well, that area over there is the goat farming area, which is quite a huge area. Then this one is basically for a poly house or a greenhouse, whatever you call it. It's huge. It's about 50 meters by 110 meters. And beyond that is the piggery unit. And this unit over here is going to be for the nursery, which we want to propagate and sell also in this place. The applications have been made, but it's taking a very, very long time to get the permission, especially from the ZDO. Well, Darbandra Panchayat has given me all the permissions, the help right now. Okay, it took me a very long time to get electricity. It took me around 5 years to get electricity because I didn't pay a pie to anybody to get electricity. Water is right up. You can see there's a sprinkler also over here. Water's come right to the other end of the property. And I would like to thank the Panchayat for giving all the necessary NOCs. And this is all that what I've shown you with the entire farm. And thank you. Once farming activity is developed, we can undertake many activities like wellness, nature education, eco and adventure tourism, and help the nearby villagers who were dependent on mining to indulge in village tourism and adventure activities the way we do, and help them to rejuvenate nature in the mines, as it is the moral duty of the mine owners to give back to Mother Nature what they took. Thank you guys for watching.